I think you in here, make a comment or something. So I think I gotta bring you up, right? How this work? Y'all bear with Big J. Jay trying to figure it out. There we go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining Beyond the Veil podcast. Well, I do want to welcome Nas. Thank you so much for coming. I invited you because I feel like you always been genuine. You always been a good energy, right? So this podcast is about bigger creators on TikTok to go beyond the veil and get to know them. This is not a messy platform. This is really a story of healing and also to push other people that sometimes we just have to share our testimony, right? Because we can see people on the screen battling, doing series, doing content, and we feel like we really know them. And we really don't. And it's okay. But just make sure you guys, this is a safe place. We're going to have a good time. We're going to roll through this interview. Remember to follow Nas. If y'all want to shoot gifts, y'all can send y'all gifts to Nas. If y'all want to do anything for me, you guys can still shoot in the middle of it. Nas, I want to thank you so much for joining. Can everybody hear me? Because I don't want to hear later my mic was messed up. The music, all that. Can everybody hear? Can you hear me, Nas?
Yes, I hear you good. I hear you
Oh.
clearly.
But again, thank you so much. So the first thing I want to know, this is how this is going to go. We're going to go from your childhood and we're going to work our way up to your adulthood, right? And anything that you don't want to answer, just skip the question, okay?
Okay.
So first, I do want to thank you for coming on. I know last week we were supposed to have it, we rescheduled. Which
Yeah.
again, thank you for being a man of your word. So the first thing I want to know, I know you big on here. I know you big on Instagram, Facebook, and everything. So is Nas your real name or what's your name?
No, I don't share. I'll share it for you guys. No, 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 I'm not.
Okay.
Never mind. No, 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 no. But no, my that's just my nickname. My that's just the name that I kind of just did for myself. My family, they call me G. My mom's
Okay.
side and my dad's side, they call me Nas because I have a older brother and they call him G as well. So yeah.
Okay, so that's where you came up with it. Was that always your creator name, Nas? Or did you come up with what made you say, okay, I'm gonna be Nas from the Gram? Or what was the name that first?
I have always been Nas from the Gram. I've been Nas from the Gram for a very long time. When I first kind of was like visiting my dad's side and they started calling me Nas, it just kind of stuck with me. My mom always called me G, my mom's side. So I don't know how I created Nas from the Gram. I really can't even tell you for real, for real. But I have been Nas from the Gram since like 2013, 2014, I want to say.
Okay, cool. So where originally are you from?
I was born and raised in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Okay, cool. So let's go to your childhood. Tell me about how you was raised, where you was raised in North Carolina. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. How was your journey growing up? Did you have a great childhood? Did you struggle with things? Or tell me about your childhood, right? Because we see this amazing content creator, we see this influencer who's been great personality, big personality, do awesome skits. But was that always you growing up?
No, and yes, I feel like I've always had a personality. So I was born in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I really don't remember too much of being in Rocky Mount, but my family did move to Bethel, North Carolina. That's where I ran into D Boy back when I was in like I want to say like first grade. Me and him
Oh,
kind of start like being cool because his grandmother took care of my grandmother. But then I was like, I was always DL, so like I always try to like keep a little girlfriend like as a little cover up, but I always had a little boyfriend on the side. And there was like certain things that like my family would like point out because I was always kind of feminine.
okay.
So my mom, she would, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. So my mama, she would like use my phone for like Facebook and stuff. So she would like go through like my Safari history and like go through my messages and like see me like talking to guys. And that happened so many times. And I think my mama, she kind of like knew, but like didn't know. So I went to Bethel Elementary, and that's where me and D Boy, we wasn't like cool, but we were like associates like through passing. Me and D really didn't become cool. I can't even tell you for real, for real. But we moved to Greenville, North Carolina, and that's where I went to middle school and high school. I went to high school at South Central High School, and I did there until about 10th grade. My childhood was pretty good. I think we struggled a lot, but for me, I didn't know anything else. So, like, for me, struggling was normal. I thought that was normal, like having the lights off and candles, and sometimes we would go to like McDonald's to charge our phones. So for me, that was like normal. And me being a kid, like living in hotels, and like I dealt with a lot of seeing like a lot of domestic stuff, and I never felt like it was like not normal, because that's what I was used to, for real, for real. So like looking back now, it was really like low key. It was like, I don't know how to explain. It was like, what can I say? It was, I don't know if this is a word, tretrifying, horrifying.
You
It was
was
horrifying.
terrified,
Yes,
okay,
terrified. Terrifying to
okay.
like see, for real, for real. But that was just something that I just always felt was normal until I really got older, for real, for real. And I'm like, that is not normal to see. That's not like, I dealt with my grandmother, and she was in relationships, and she was was abused. And I've had like times where like 2 o'clock in the morning, her boyfriend would like come in, and like he would be like strangling the dog. I'll never forget the one time where he had pushed my grandmother down on concrete and like scratched her whole face up. Her like face was to the white meat. And waking up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody's like yelling. My mama find out. It was just like, it was a lot. So, and my mama, she wasn't always who she is now. So if nobody knows, like my mom is a pastor now. So my mom, she used to like drink and smoke weed and like partying, and like a lot of times I was with my grandmother. So that was one thing that I had to deal with, for real, for real. And I was also bullied a lot when I was in like elementary school, when I was in middle school. I was bullied a lot, and that's how me and D even kind of became cool. Honestly, simply because he was one of the people that was bullying me. I'm not gonna lie, but
Okay.
we grew a relationship out of it, and it was, I don't know why they used to bully me, if I'm being honest with you, but we just kind of, we grew a relationship. And it's a lot of back end stuff. His grandmother took care of my grandmother before she passed away. And I look at Dee's family as like family of mine now. So yeah.
Okay, let's say you uncovered a lot. So let's scale back a little bit,
Hmm.
right? So I heard what you're saying, where you was born. I understand you're stating that your mom will go through your safari, see things
Hmm.
regarding the LGBT. Then you was with your grandmother. She was in an abusive situation. So how old was you when you started feeling the same attraction to men? Do you remember that age?
um Jesus Christ. um do I want to be honest? Do I want to be honest? I was very young. I was very
Okay.
young. I used to. It was just certain things that I just don't want to talk about. But it was things that would just like happen when I was younger, and that
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. So basically, you're saying that something transpired in your life that you feel that a seed was planted, and that's what made you basically was interested in men. And
Yeah.
basically, when that happened, a door basically opened where that's when other things creep in, going on the line, doing the internet, etc. Do you know how old was you around that time?
Honest to God, I know I was probably no older than like 10. For
Okay.
real, for real. I know I wasn't. I was probably like 9, 10, maybe 11 or so.
Okay. So how old was you living with your grandma at the time or your mom?
Yeah, so I was kind of I was like back and forth. So like once again, like we've always dealt with with my mom and my grandma and stuff. It's they've dealt with like financial stuff. So like there was times where like my mom would get like put out, or like she didn't have like a legit roof over her head. So like I would stay with my grandma a lot of times, because my grandma, she always, that was the house to go to. Like when
Right.
you get kicked out, you get evicted, when you behind on bills or whatever, and you going through whatever you're going through, we go to grandma's house. So that's where I stayed majority of my time, honestly.
Okay, so basically your grandmother and mama they raised you, and
Pretty
then
much, yeah.
your mama was doing her thing back then, and then she
Mhm,
became got saved, and then life
mhm,
kind of changed from there. How
mhm.
did the abuse affect you when your grandmother was getting abused? Like how did that? And I know you're saying you felt like that was normal, but
Mhm.
did you feel sad? Did you feel confused? What did you? How did you feel at that time?
I, honest to God, I was like very. It was a very scary moment. I think the last time it happened, it was very. It was really late. It was really late, and I just remember him coming in, and like you just hear the dog like, and he's like strangling the dog. He's like pushing my grandma. He's tearing the house up, and we had to run. So we went to, which is my grandmother's mother, my great grandmother. We like ran through this field, and like I just remember being scared. Like I was like overly scared. I was overly scared because like I'm young. I don't know what's going on. This is something that like repeatedly happened. Like it constantly happened. And I was just scared because I just felt like it was nothing I could do. This is a grown man we're talking about. So there was nothing I could do for real at all. So I just felt helpless. Like I couldn't really do nothing at all.
And how old was you around this time when this was transpiring?
All of this was probably around the same time. I was honestly, I was probably like 12, maybe like 13 at that time.
Wow, so you experienced a lot in a short period of time,
Yes.
right? You went
Hmm.
through something at 10, you start your sexuality, you start liking men, then you went
Hmm.
from going to mom and grandma house, then being with grandmother, and then now you're seeing her being abused. So it's a lot of traumatic situations happen at the same time. So from when
Hmm.
that happened, so then you're also, are you in middle school right now or you're in elementary?
I am in. Then I don't think I was. I have no clue because we went to a Bethel Elementary School. It was Bethel Elementary, but it was a K through 8 school. So it was kindergarten all the way up to eighth grade.
Okay, so how was that experience in school? Because now you in school, you a little feminine, right? You know you
Hmm.
liking guys, you probably, whatever. So was you getting teased about your sexuality? Was they, I know you said you was bullied, were they bullying you about how you look, or was it more that you was feminine, or how did that transpire?
If I'm being honest with you, I could not even tell you why. I feel like I was always scared to show my personality when I was younger because I didn't want nobody to be like, "Oh my god, he's, LGBTQ or whatever." So, I was, a little shy sometimes. Sometimes I really didn't show my personality, and I feel like I was an easy target because I was so quiet. So, I didn't want to show my personality because back then it's not like it is now when you're like a little feminine, they like, "Oh, hell no." So then it was just I couldn't even tell. Like I really don't know because I was quiet in school. I was very quiet in school up until I probably got to like high school, maybe like eighth grade or so. But I was usually like quiet. I was, I had good grades in school. I really didn't get into much for real, for real. So
Okay, so you had a lot of friends and all of that. So right, you was just, when did the big personality happen? Because I know you say you was shy.
mhm.
When did you step into the Nas era of when you was growing up? When did the personality where it's like I don't care what nobody think,
Mhm.
etc. When did
I would
that
say
come?
in 2015, I came out the closet in August of 2015, and it took me about. It was a very like, it was very bad because I have the story time on my YouTube. It was, oh my god, I was so little and so skinny, but me coming out because like in the black household, like being that is like the worst thing that could happen. Like you could do anything. You could whatever. Being LGBTQ is literally like the worst thing. So my mom, she did take it really, really, really bad. But I feel like it was a weight lifted off my shoulder because I'm like, this is like the biggest secret I've been holding, which I'm sure she kind of already knew from when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, her going through my phone and seeing certain things. But she always told me she felt like it was a phase. But for me, I started getting comfortable. I would really say like 2016, 2017, after I graduated high school and I got my own job, and I really didn't depend on nobody for nothing. That's when I really started like really showing my personality. And I started doing like the skits with the before I started doing the wigs, I would wear like shirts on my head. So I would do like
Okay.
shirts and like do little skits and stuff like that. And I was a little more comfortable even in school. I was comfortable with, having certain friends because, like, I tried to stay away from the LGBTQ community. when I was in high school, all the way up until I came out around 11th grade. So
So in high school, did you have a girlfriend and all of that?
in high school, did I have a girlfriend? No, I stopped the girlfriend stuff probably around like eighth or ninth grade for real.
Okay.
Because I just wasn't. I think back then I was kind of like testing the waters out for real. But I really stopped doing that because like I was solely in the guys. I knew I was in the guys then. I wasn't even trying to go over there trying to nothing.
Okay, so tell me, so we went through your childhood. You told us where you
Mhm.
was born. You told us things you went through. You went through school. Your personality comes that first you was wearing t-shirts on your head or
Mhm.
whatever. You basically like I'm out. What did because we have a lot of children watch you. We have people probably watching right now and they probably
Mhm.
battling with their sexuality or they scared to tell their family. Did you feel isolated during that time? When you came out, or was it more? I know you said I'm paying my bills, this and that, but what was it more? You was like, did your family accept you at that moment, or it was just like whatever to you?
Mhm. The hardest part was, and the I'm not gonna say the only person, but the number one person that I cared about was my mom. So my mom,
Okay.
it was very hard for her to accept it. It was really a lot. Like I was embarrassed to even like I stayed at my best friend's house for like 2 or 3 days wearing the same clothes, not taking no shower because I did not want to face my mama. And not because she was like my mom was never like abusive or anything like that, but it
Right.
was just I just cared so much about my mom's opinion. So when I very first seen her, like she gave me a hug and she was like, at the end of the day, like you're my son, I love you. And even it took her a very long time to like come around and to understand it. But I was just telling her like, I'm still your son at the end of the day, but like this is just who I am. And I just never felt nothing wrong because I don't think I was hurting anybody at that time. Like, why is this so wrong?
Okay.
So for me, it was really mainly like my mom for real, because everybody else was very my dad was very accepting of it. My grandmother was, my mom, it just took her a little it took her a little minute. Everybody else was very like, okay, whatever. But my mama was just and my mama was the number one person I cared about that, when I did come out. So for her, it just that was my main focus.
So was your dad around growing up?
Um honestly, my dad was financially around when I was younger. Like,
Okay.
he made sure I had fresh school clothes. But like that dad and son relationship, I think I do play a part in that as well. But um uh, like physically, I don't want to say that. Oh my God. Phys- physically physically my dad was not around. Financially, I feel like my dad was always there. Like if I ever need anything, like I needed my phone bill paid, he's paying
Hmm.
it. I needed school clothes, I need school shoes, he's there. But like daddy and son time, no.
Okay, so now you graduate from school. Tell me, walk me through your first skit because you came from being
Mhm.
private. You came from kind of being a shy kid, made good grades. You experienced a lot early on in life that normal children don't, right? So then it's like, okay, now I'm free. I kind of told my family, you probably, etc. So tell me, when did the first skit happen? What made you come up with the skit, and where did you post it at?
So if nobody knows, I mean, I'm sure a few people know, but I really started doing Vine. So I was doing Vine back when Vine was Vine. That was when I was in high school, and I used to do Vine and Facebook. Those were my priorities, and I was like kind of known in high school because like everybody used to see my videos, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, you do videos? You got like this amount of followers." Back then 60, 70,000 followers is like that's like a million. So I've always had a following. And then I started doing YouTube and I started doing Nicki Minaj reactions. So every
Okay.
song that Nicki Minaj dropped, you can guarantee Nas From The Gram was reacting to it. So I built a fan base off of that. And even back then, I was like, I wasn't out. I was more discreet, so I wasn't really like open with my sexuality for real. For real, you can kind of tell I was still kind of DL back then. Not really more discreet. So I was doing that, and then I started getting into the skits. On TikTok in 2020 of March was my very first like skit I posted. That's when I was doing the wigs. I went to the beauty supply store. I brought a wig, and I just started doing it. And my very first skit for real that went viral was I used to do how girls be in high school, and it caused a lot of controversy. But I was in the clouds one day and I was like, I just want to do a skit, and I posted it, And it like it ate, and I was like, I just kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And one thing, once again, I had in the back of my head, I pray to God my mama do not see this. Cause now I have a wig on. Like I have wigs on. I'm like, act like a girl. I got a skirt on. I got like thighs out. Like, I'm like, please do not let my mama see this.
Wow, so that was your first. So you came, you started doing, you was like, you doing your Nicki Minaj reaction, you on
Hmm.
Vine, and back then Vine was really big. It was just kind of
Hmm.
like TikTok to me.
Yeah.
Then you go viral. In your mind, did you think about besides your mom, like, oh my God, what is, because you were saying you still really was, I mean, you was out, but not like that. Did you think about, I'm gonna become a streamer, or what was your goal behind it? Or you were just like, yo, I can't, like, what was your mindset? You said you was in the clouds. Do you mean by high, smoking, or what you
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you was in high, you just did the video, and what was your, when you saw the views, did you wake up, or was it during the time you did it, or when did you realize you was like going viral?
So for me, I've never been like a number person. So like, um, I used to just do videos just to do them. Like, I really never cared about like the money. I never really cared. I just did them just because like I just like express. I like thinking of an idea in my head and see it come to life. I don't care how many views, how many likes it get. So I used to just post for. I can't even tell you my first video number wise that went viral. Now I know which video did go viral. It was I think her name is Deborah Cox. I did like a little voiceover of that, and that went viral on Facebook. And my mama saying that, but like that was me being in the boy. I had my afro. I was in the car. Just being me, being G as she know me. But um, when she very first seen like my video, and I had a wig on, and my grandmother had told me, she was like, your mama's not happy with that, right? And I was like, she's saying it. She's like, yeah, she's saying your TikTok. And at this point, I was trying to hide because I had blocked my mama on TikTok because I was trying to hide my TikTok from her. But I had got to the point where I was going so viral that it wasn't just going viral on TikTok. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. So I'm like, I can't even hide it. So like we kind of like had a conversation, and my mama said, my mama, she's very in the church. So she was saying like she had to look at it as you don't have to be in a pulpit to touch people, because at
Mhm.
this moment, like I have like 400,000 or 500,000 followers on TikTok, and people are like messaging me, telling me like how I encourage them and how I've saved them from like doing bad things and like stuff like that. So she had to look at it from a whole different point of view rather than me just wearing a wig and trying to be a quote unquote woman.
What when did you realize like, okay, I'm a big deal? Do you remember ever going out and people start noticing you, or when did you ever get to the point like, oh my God, I'm
Mhm.
Nas? Because at first you can date whoever you want to date, right? You can do
Yes.
whatever you want to do because people are not dating you for the clout. They're really dating you
Mhm.
because they think Nas attractive, this, and that, and you don't have to worry about that. But now when you become an internet sensation, when did you realize like, oh, I'm really Nas?
Mhm.
Did it
There
ever
was
hit you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was honestly, for being honest, there's two moments. So I had this guy that was a sneaky link. And we used to we used to sneak around and stuff.
Right.
And he was in my he's like very, he's very, he's DL, he's hood, he's masculine, all of that. So he was in my house one day, and he was like, tell me why one of your videos popped up on my Facebook, and my heart dropped to my stomach. I was like, okay. And then I was walking, we and my friend was walking in the park, and this girl seen me and just started screaming. And I
Okay.
was just like I didn't know what, it was so awkward because like imagine you like walking, somebody seeing you, was like, oh my God. And I'm just like, girl, what? Like, I know you from TikTok, I be seeing your videos. Blah, blah, blah. But for me, that's why I say like I'm never a number person, because at this point I'm almost at like 1 million followers. But like me, I'm not thinking like real 1 million people follow me for real. I'm just thinking like, oh, those are just numbers. Like not really like thinking of it like that. So like it took me to like really be in the real world and people recognizing me to be like, you are really somebody. And like I moved, like I had kids knocking on my door, like
Oh.
watching my every move, leaving me notes on my car. Like it was too much. I had to move. I literally broke my lease. I had to move.
Okay. So we're gonna go all the way back. So basically, to catch up. So as a child, something transpired, you end up feeling away.
Mhm.
I start liking boys. Your mom go through your phone. Then you went to your grandmother's house. I was struggling a little bit. She was getting abused, and then you went to school. You still was a good child. You was private. Didn't let anybody know. We fast forward. You graduate. Then you start doing Vine. You go
Mhm.
viral on these apps. Then you get to YouTube. Do you feel like YouTube did it kind of? It was just did it make it bigger than Vine? Do you feel like YouTube was way bigger than Vine? It created a bigger audience for you.
No, because I do feel like YouTube was more so like YouTube was YouTube. Like that
No,
was.
not YouTube. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
TikTok and Vine. Did Vine?
Oh
Yeah. Was it like a totally different? Do you feel like TikTok opened up
yes,
more? Okay.
yeah. TikTok grew way faster than mine. TikTok was like, I swear, I was like, I blinked my eye, and it was like, I was just like that. I think I was doing YouTube for like a few months. I quit my job and everything, and that was it. Just happened so fast. It literally just happened, and this is just me just doing videos and not thinking like people really like them for real. So yeah.
So did you ever? When did you stop working a normal job? When did you say, you know what? I'm done with 9 to 5. Or if you went to school, you was like,
Mhm.
I'm done. I'm about to try to step out on faith, right? Because it's very
Mhm.
hard for somebody. They have a guaranteed check coming every 2 weeks or every week, and it's like, yo, I gotta really let this go. But then I'm gonna step out on her. Did you have to trust God in it? You was like, God, I trust you. Did you pray, or was it just you? Like, I'm about to do this. What was
Mhm.
that moment like?
So I quit my job in November of 2020. I was a shift. I mean, I was a supervisor at Sheets. It's like a gas station. It's like a Wawa, a QT type of thing. And I quit my job. I think I was doing. My friend had hit me up and asked me if I made money off of social media. And it was this app called The Plug where like you could promote like they got like different apps on there. They got Big O, they got games, and you could promote it and they basically pay you. And that first week I think I made like $1,400, and keep in mind I was probably making like $1,000 every 2 weeks at my job. So I was like, if I really like put my work into this, I could really do it. I called out of work for a whole week. I did it for a whole week, made the $1,400. I came back the day I was supposed to come back, and I literally quit. I quit right then and there. I didn't put no 2 weeks in. I put 1 day in right then and there, and I fully like I just remember going home and laying on my couch and I just cried. I cried like a baby because I set my life up to work a 9 to 5, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But for me, it was just like, it was very stressful. It was overly stressful. And me going to work and showing up and giving them my all and still struggling to pay my bills, still trying to figure out like with this check, am I gonna pay my rent or I'm gonna pay my car note? Behind, like it was very stressful. So to feel like I had like financial freedom, it was very great, but I had to make sure that I set myself up for like for good because I know social media is not guaranteed money.
Hmm.
So for me, I literally had to bust my ass like sun up, sun down. I was on live 12, 13 hours a day. I was posting 4 or 5 videos a day. Like social media was literally my life now. Like this is how I pay my bills. So it was very, very, very scary. But I never doubted myself just because like I've always been like a hustler. I've always been a grinder. No matter what, I've worked 2 jobs at one point in time, getting no sleep for real. So I knew I could do it for real, but being for real with you, I did not think I could do it for this long. I did not like if you were to ask me back then, like, do you think 6 years from now you would still be doing social media full time, like financially? Like, I would probably tell you no. I really thought it was gonna be like a few month thing, maybe like a year, and I was gonna go back to work, but it just blew up like ran. It was just something that I just couldn't control. So it just happened, and I just thank God for it.
So, where did you get that belief in you, right? Because a lot of people struggle, even as adults. It's like, oh, I don't know if some people been working at their job 40 years and it's time to do a career change. They get scared, or they just
Mhm.
like, I don't know if I should do this, because change is scary sometimes, right? Especially when you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Mhm.
From that little to now, to that little boy back then, who you was, what would you say to that little boy? What would you say to yourself?
I would really tell myself to just be yourself. And people, I feel like people are going to judge you no matter what you do. Because even, when I first started social media, I went through a very bad depressed phase because I did receive a lot of hate because I'm a man in a wig portraying a black woman, so a lot of people did hate me, and it sent me to a depression, and I started caring about what people say and people feel, and I started changing my content up. And even like with me being DL and not coming out the closet, I dealt with a lot of real life hate when it came to that. Like, I was bullied, so I would just tell myself, just do what makes you happy, for real. Because at the end of the day, people are going to judge you and people are going to have opinions about you. No matter what, I can be on here reading a Bible every day and people are going to have something to say. So that is something I would tell myself.
Great. So now we went through all of that, right? So now
Mhm.
what is the biggest blessing of, besides we know the temple, we know I can pay my bills, right?
Mhm.
What is the biggest blessing for you because you became this you worked hard, this overnight sensation, right? You're
Mhm.
everywhere. How I first saw you, I think it was like doing McDonald videos on Instagram.
Mhm.
So it's like you're everywhere, your skits are doing, because some people could be funny today, then tomorrow they just not. I remember seeing people when I was younger, now they know where to be found. And you
Mhm.
kind of kept your momentum over the years. So that means it's a gift for you. How do you handle the fame, right? Because at the end of the day, everything you do is microscope, right?
Mhm.
You come on, if you move a pen wrong, they got something to say. If you
Yeah.
have a bad day, they have something to say. So, what is first I want to know, the first question is, besides I can pay my bills, what is the blessing in the social media? Do you feel like, what does it make you happy still? Are you still
Mhm.
happy with content creator? Are you still happy with going live on TikTok?
Mhm. So, content creation is something that I will always enjoy because, like I said in the beginning, I enjoy thinking of something and seeing it come to life. Like, I love creating, regardless. I feel like the the best thing out of it is just people. Like, I get messages all the time. And I think that's what really pushes me and keeps me going. Is like, I remember at a point in time in my life to where there was a certain, like, B Simone is a creator that like
Mm-hmm.
helped me through like a lot of down, depressed moments. And the fact that I can be that for people without even knowing, I'm just showing up and I'm just creating content. I'm just clicking the live button. And there's like certain people are like, whew, like finally Nas is live. Like, they could just like put real life and what they're going through behind them. I just love that I can be an outlet for people. I could be somebody that people can watch and be happy and be out of like whatever they're going through, being depressed or like suicidal, or like certain people go through divorces. I had this one lady, she was one of my biggest supporters, and she was telling me how she was in the hospital almost dying, and my videos like kept her uplifted. And I know what that feels to like confide in somebody and to be like an outlet. So for me, that's like the best thing, for real, because you just don't know what people go through. You don't know what they go through on a day-to-day basis. So many people that watch me that tell me their stories, and I'm like, and you still show up for me every single day. I think that is like the biggest blessing, for real, for real.
Okay, do you ever feel pressure to be perfect, right? Because you have thousands of people watching you every day. And I know on the human side, you don't feel like it every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't wake up happy. Everybody don't say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna do this series." You have times before you click that live button, you gotta go,
Mm-hmm.
because you're mentally drained. You're tired. You
Mm-hmm.
got personal things going on in your life. But right now, I can't let the world know because everybody expects Nas to be perfect. Everybody expects Nas
Yeah.
to make them loud. Everybody expects Nas to do whatever because you're a scapegoat for them. But who you go to for escape? Tell me a
Mm-hmm.
little about that. So, do you ever feel pressure to always be on live? Do you ever feel pressure to be perfect? Do you ever get to a moment that you feel like, okay, I need a mental break? I know we go on vacation. I know you hang out with your friends, but do you ever have a moment where it's like, I need a mental break?
I do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like that right now. But I feel like over the past like 6 years, I have really like programmed myself to just like not put me second, but to realize like, Nas, there are people that are like, J Ron, I'm being for real. I be hearing people's stories and what they go through, and it's like from what I'm going through, it's like a breeze. It's like not saying like I F me or like put me second, but like these people really be going through like real life and death stuff. And like it would I just feel like for God to give me a gift and me to be like selfish with it or me to just not be considerate, I don't know. I just feel like that'll be very I don't know, but when I want some me time, when like I know when enough is enough. I've really learned when it's time for me to take a break, when it's time for me to sit down, when it's time to be like, okay, y'all, I have to put me first because I have gone through moments to where I have nothing to give. Like I'm at zero, like mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm drained. So I know when enough is enough, but I wasn't always like this. When I first started, I feel like I dealt with depression because of that, because I was like saying, F me, let me put like, I was at zero, but still clicking the live button, still posting content. And I feel like over the years, I have learned like Nas, if these people really love you, if they really support you, they're going to
Hmm.
understand that you go through things just like they do.
Okay, great answer. So tell me about the downside of social media. So again, people don't, people log on because they look at all the content creators basically
Mhm.
as TV. A lot of people don't even turn their TV on no more. Everybody just roll TikTok and have a good time. A lot of content creators, you guys are human. You make mistakes, you come on, you have a good time. Some days you don't even feel like going live, but it's like I need to meet this quota, or I need to stay in A League, or I need to do
Mhm.
this. So tell me about the downside of it, right? We know the highlights because it's like you bring it brings fame, it brings money. I can pay my bills. I'm my own boss. But then you have another side, and I always tell people that everybody can't be a content creator. And I know we in this season right now where everybody's running TikTok, everybody want to be live, everybody want to be a content creator because they feel like that's it. But it's
Mhm.
just like an entrepreneur. It takes a lot to be an entrepreneur, right? We know the best thing is you can wake up and you don't got a boss, but it's also you still got staff, you still got to pay this, you still got to meet the quota, etc. So it's
Mhm.
not always peaches and cream. So what is the downside as being a content creator?
I think the downside for me specifically on being a content creator is people feel like they know you based off of what you give. So I feel like over the past 5 to 6 years of me doing social media, I have dealt with a lot of things that were said or like this narrative of me, like, a lot of people say, oh, you're mean, you're rude, you're this, you're that, when that's just what I give people for real. But if you really dim it down and really like get a chance to really know me or like meet me in person, you would know like I'm like really sweet. I'm really like, even a lot of people meet me in person, they're like, you're not as loud and whatever as you seem to be. So I feel like on the internet, people go based off of whatever it is that you give them. So I could be on here, and the only time you see me is battling, and you see me screaming and hollering and like, oh my God, y'all get the speed. So right there, you could just judge me based off of that because that's all you see. But I feel like I do feel like you have to be careful on what you do give. One thing I can say is live has really opened the door for just like when it comes to me specifically. It has opened the door for a lot. I did enjoy when I used to do content. People can off a video, they could just go whatever they want to go off with. It don't matter. I feel like when you're live, people feel a little more entitled. I feel like you're giving them a little more. They see your personality a little more. They see when you're irritated. They see when you're mad. They see what gets you upset. Like they have a little more insight. Rather, when I was doing videos, it was just like that's it. That's all. Clock the fuck out. McDonald's. Okay, period. But that's the only downside when it comes to me is I feel like people really think they know you. And I feel like I will literally turn black and blue trying to tell people like I am human. Everybody gets mad. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
gets angry. Nobody likes to lose. Even in the battle world, like nobody likes to lose. Like everybody is different. Everybody handle L's different. Everybody handle frustration different. Then I also tell people like I have things that I go through as well. So there are certain days where I am a little more irritated because there's probably something in my personal life that I'm going through with family or something. So yeah, I am. I may be a little more irritated. So like at the end of the day, I am human. So yeah.
So how do you deal with everybody like you too? So what I learned is this, even my experience, you can everybody can like you today, everybody clapping, rooting for you, and then tomorrow everybody hates you, right? And then it's like, okay, now you got to come back from that. How do you deal with a situation where you feel like everybody was against you? I'm not gonna really dive into that,
No, I get it.
but that situation, how did you handle that, right? Because you're you on the screen, everybody love you one moment, everybody happy, you're saving their life. Oh my God, I'm going through divorce and I turned on you, did this, and then you turn around, the same people you go live with, the same people you laugh with, now they're against you. So how did you deal with that mentally? Because that's a lot. And because I kind of went through not the same thing, but kind of it's a lot when you have the whole world looking at you. Everybody has misconception of you. Nobody really knows the real you, but everybody is saying their opinions. Which, granted, people can say their opinions because you're a public figure. Your life is out there, so people gonna say, go back and forth. So how did you tell me that space? How did you deal with that? Was it a dark time? Did you have to lean? Who did you lean on at that time? How did you feel? How did you feel?
I feel like during that time it genuinely, oh my god, I'm about to cry. What am I doing? It genuinely brought me to it brought me backwards for real, because I came from, when I first had moved from to Houston, and I was in a very dark space, and I did promise myself that I would never ever allow myself to get back to that again. So when that happened, it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I beat myself up for it a lot. I thank God I do have a great community around me that that uplifts me, and that knows like the real me and who I am. But I do feel like I feel like I'm still coping with it now, because I do feel like I have a lot of anger, and I have a lot of resentment in my heart, because I feel like there were certain people that know the real me, that know who I am, that it was like a kick me while I'm down type of moment. And that is a moment in my life that I genuinely do regret. And I feel like people use that as like a aha, like I knew you were gonna fall off. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew you wasn't who you said you was. And to have people like speak so negatively against me, it's like, I'm still human at the end of the day. So I know, like, we all fuck up, we all mess up, and not one moment did I ever say like I was proud of that, or it was like oh f y'all, like I was with everybody, like
Right.
I definitely felt like 100%, even to this day. But
Mm-hmm.
it did turn into anger when it's like, what else do y'all want from me? Like I literally, I took accountability, I apologized, I reached out, I did everything that I could possibly do. And I'm not even the type of person to, I'm not going to broadcast everything that I do. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm, whatever I do on the back end, I do that for them. I'm not doing that for the people. I'm doing that for them. I apologize. And it was like, even in that moment, it's like, it's not enough. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It was like they were nitpicking me, and they were kicking me while I was down. And there was moments where like I like fucking cried to my head was hurt, and just getting like there was no escape whatsoever. But that is why I thank God for people that genuinely support me, because it was a point in time where I didn't want to leave my house, because people were like sending me death threats. People were saying
Mm-hmm.
like if they see me, like what they gonna do to me and whatever. And I'll never forget this lady. That's what kind of like opened me up. This lady, she was just like, "Can I hug you, please?" And she gave me a
Mm-hmm.
hug, and she just spoke so much life into me. And even to this day, that is like a situation, that is a thing that still like sits in the back of my head, for real. That is something that still sits in the back of my head, and that is something that I still deal with to this day, because there are people that I genuinely had love for. There were certain people that I did care for, that know me deep down inside, that still sided and still spoke against me. There were still people that kicked me while I was down, and it's hard to forgive, and it's hard to look past, for real, because it's like I'm already down. Like I'm down. Like I have nothing to give. I'm at zero. Like I'm. nothing, and you're kicking me while I'm like, it was a lot. It was a lot.
So how did you? So I feel like, and I can see you're sincere in that, right? But I feel like I look at everything that it was a God moment and it was a testimony, and it's a testimony to see that don't count you out, right? Because in life, you already people don't understand. In the beginning, you went through a lot at an early age. You overcame that. You turned that pain into the biggest content creator. You were doing things. You get to this point in your life, something traumatic happened, right? The world is against you. But not only, but then, yeah, it hurt. You want to go through things. It's you're like, oh, I trusted this person. You made angry and all of this. But in the middle of it, you still came out on top. Not discarding nobody's feelings because God still had his hand over your life. God still provided. And what I learned from looking in that God is still not done with you. He still push you to the next level. And anybody that's out there that is struggling with something that they have made a mistake and you feel like you're scared to come outside or you scared to show your face, and you just giving somebody know that you could be strong enough to face the world and go through this and still come back on triumph and you still won, right? Not saying won like that, but only cowards hide, and you still came out, showed your face, and you still Nas. And look where you at now. You still got support. You still have a team. So I just say, yeah, you as long as you forgive yourself, you just keep going. So I'm proud of you. I'm glad you spoke on it. I'm glad that you still doing good, and you probably still mentally going to go through things, and it's okay. That's normal. But just forgive yourself and know that whatever God, He still has it for you. Right? We all go through things. But the thing is, everybody else stuff is in the closet. You can't really see theirs, right?
Yes.
So I just say keep pushing. So after that, you come back on social media and tell me how is your mindset have changed, right? So do you still go back around on people who made content about you, made negative things? How have your outlook looked different now that you're doing social media? Because you come back, you this biggest thing, you're popping, everybody love you, something traumatic happened, you go away, you come back. Now you're looking, your eyes, you're looking out when you go through something. When God allowed you to go through something and you go to your lowest, it builds a stronger soldier in us, right? And we come back and it's different. Our eyes are that we see things different. What do you see different now?
Um, Now I do something that I do ask God for, that I pray for a lot, is to remove the bitterness and the anger from my heart. Because there's a lot of people, there was a lot of people that, even, sometimes I do share the screen with them. My energy is a little weird,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not trying to be funny, but I do see everything, even if they don't think I see it. I do see everything. So sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little more angry now. I am angry, and I do ask God to help me with that for real, because if only everybody knew, like, mentally, what I went through, and to
Mm-hmm.
just get on the internet and watch people you share the screen with, people that reached out to me, that encouraged me and told me, keep your head up, and to see on T pages that they're mocking me and kicking me, like, it makes you angry for real. So even now, if I'm being honest, like, besides my friends in real life, I don't look at nobody now as friends. I look at everybody as business partners. I look at
Okay.
everybody as, we gonna share the screen together, we kiki, we haha, wash my hands with you, keep it pushing. Because there was a lot of people that was happy, like, oh, this is the end for him, this is it, everybody hate him. And they seen me click the live button, and they seen me get so much love, and I watched so many people switch up. I watched so many people change their minds, like, oh wait, we love him, wait, we still support him, we still want to share the screen with him. So yeah, like that person just said, I've seen a lot of people's true colors for real, and I still
Mm-hmm.
don't speak on it now. I just handle people accordingly, for real, for real. But right now, I'm not gonna lie, Javon, I am angry. I have seen like a shift in me. That I am a little more angry. I am a little more on edge. And I do ask God to remove that from, because I don't like that feeling at all. But it's really hard. It's really hard because I know the space that I was in during that time, and I was in a very, 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 very dark place. And it's just hard to just forgive or to just see everybody the same, or it's hard. It's very hard. It's really hard.
Where how are you doing mentally now? Are you happy, or how are you doing right now at this very moment?
Right now, if I'm being honest, like my real world, real life, I am in a very great headspace. I'm in an amazing headspace for real. Of course, I do have stuff that I need to work on, like, within me. But overall, I think I'm doing amazing. I didn't think, I'm sorry, that I would ever get here for real, for
Hmm.
real. If I'm being honest, if you would have asked me about 6 months ago, child, I don't know what I would have told you, but now I am doing amazing. I'm doing great. And that's why you have to be careful of who you surround yourself with, because a lot of my friends, AD, Jen, D Boy, my best friends say, K Ham, those were people that just uplifted me so much. Even my mods, they sent flowers to my house. Like, those are the type of people that want to see you happy, people that want to see you smile. Those are the people that you need around you, people that are going to uplift you when the world is against you, and you have people around you that know you and just want to like pour into you, because it's easy to just suck people dry, just suck them up. But it's like it's hard to find people that's going to pour into you, that's going to give you the same energy that you give out. So I do want to thank God for them as well, because I don't think I would be where I am mentally today if it was not for the people around me.
So my next question is, thank you for that. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to remember about Nas, and what is next for you, right? Because we know it's phases. We had Vine, we had something else, we got TikTok. It's gonna be something else. What
Yes.
is next for Nas? Like, what do you want to get into acting? Do you want to? What is next for you?
Mhm. Um, if we're being honest, this is a space of honesty. So, with the incident that happened, it's very hard to say that, because if you would ask me that probably a year ago, I probably would have told you a lot of things. But a lot of people don't want to work with you. A lot of people don't want to pour into you when like you have that type of stuff like on your background, because like then it makes them look bad. So like right now, if I'm being honest, I'm just going with the flow. Whatever door opens for me that God allows, I'm willing to walk into it. I don't have like a specific thing, if I'm being real with you. um I I genuinely, I can't even tell you. I don't know. I'm just really going with the flow. So I'll run social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram up until it's my time, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like whatever God has first for you, and no man, no matter what people think. So don't ever
Mhm.
think like, oh, because this happened and I did this, I can't, doors won't open. And you got
Yeah.
to understand that the God that we serve is beyond imagine. I'm not trying to get churchy here, beyond our thoughts, beyond what
Yeah.
we think, and beyond what people are typing, right? We serve a
Mhm.
God that does not, he's not even author of confusion, because your name will be in rooms that you never even spoke, like even stepped in. So never, don't ever count yourself out on that,
Yeah.
right? If you want to be an actor, if you want to do this, you still say you want to be that. So don't ever feel like, oh, I lost the plot or this happened, because trust and believe is people that did way worse, right?
Mhm.
And they still doing that. So as long as you right with God, you're okay with that. So after that, so we wrap up these questions. I have a few more, and then so how is it now trying to date, right? Is it hard dating because you're Nas, right? Because you are attractive, you got great personality. How is it trying to date now? Because it's like, do you go in like, is you really with me because I'm Nas, or you really
Mhm.
like me? How is that journey, right? Because this can get a little, it can get lonely a little bit, right? Because it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
everybody love you, you got millions of followers, but sometimes you want to go home to not a sneaky link, but you want to build life with somebody. But now it's like, I don't know if I can really trust this person, right? Because I
Mhm.
don't know if you with Nas for Nas, or you with me for clout, or to see what you can get. And that's kind of that's the downfall of social media, right? Or you got the side of people say, oh, I don't want to date nobody on TikTok, I don't want to date nobody like that, because they have a negative stigma, not about you, but just about TikTokers, period. So how is that?
So being for real, my love life is just, I don't know. I do feel like the people that I have talked to, since I have been Nas from the Gram, I really feel like a lot of people like the idea of me, because like, I feel like who I am on here, not saying on no fake stuff, but who I am on here, my boyfriend is not gonna get that. He's not gonna get clocked the fuck out. Another one, thank you. Y'all push the score, go, go. He gets a whole different version of me. So I think people see me, they scroll on my Instagram, they see this person, they like, ooh, I like Nas from the Gram. But it's like that's not like you're gonna get a whole different version. So a lot of people that talk to me, they're like, "Oh my god, you're really serious. Like, you really like you be dead ass. Like you like run a strict program." So for me, it's extremely hard for real, trying to figure out like who really wants to get to know Nas, who really wants to get to know me for real. And honestly, I just it's really hard. I'm sure I probably done missed out on my husband for real, just being so strict. But I don't respond to a lot of people. I don't entertain a lot of people. Because I do feel like a lot of people just like to play. A lot of people are not serious for real. I think people just see views and followers and they just like, oh, I want a piece of that. Because a lot of people want to be famous. A lot of people want to go viral. So I feel like it's like I'm like the cheat code. So they try to like come over here, but it's really hard. I have met some very genuine people. I have met some genuine people. I am open to like I don't have no limitations. Like, if you are an influencer and you carry yourself very well and
Mm.
I don't want nobody in the drama and stuff, like I'm willing open to it. But, I don't really know too many for real, for real. All of them just all the same at the end of the day. Like it may be looking good, it may sound good, but like then you start getting it's just I don't know. So it's a lot.
So okay, so you're not close to dating. You're open.
I'm
Okay,
very
so we
yeah.
got you very open. Okay, so the last question. This is a fun one. Who would play you in a movie if they had to play Nas? If an actor said, "Hey," somebody reached out and say, "Hey, we saw you on TikTok. We feel like it's great. We want to know about your life." Who would you want to play you?
Who would I want to play me in a movie? Like already like well known actor.
It could be anybody. They basically saying you got some producers looking at you. They say, "Yo, I want to tell the world about your story, and we got a new thing going on. We just want to promote content creators, but we look at you. We want to make a movie about you. Who would you want that to be?
Oh my god. It's one person, but I'm kind of feminine. They're not feminine. Um
A good actor can do both. So,
no, I wouldn't even want to see him in that light. Um I really do not know. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm just so one of a kind. Why can't I play? I want to play me. Let me play
oh,
me.
you want to play your own
I
self?
don't think nobody could play Nas from the Gram like Nas from the Gram. Like, I'm sorry. I could play me. I could play me real good.
Okay, but I do want to thank you so much for coming beyond the veil
You're
with Ron.
welcome.
Thank you. It was an honor to get to know you. My whole point of bringing content creators on is for people to get to know this side of them, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, I can go live and tell my own story," but it's a little different where you can sit down, feel safe, and also be able to tell people who you are. Being, I hope people walk away from this interview and know, okay, this is who Nas really is, right?
Mhm.
And understand that just have a little more grace on people. My advice to you is take some time out for yourself. It's okay to step away and just make sure you're mentally good. I thank you
Mhm.
so much for coming on. Tell us what's up for you. Everybody go follow Nas. If y'all want to send gifts, y'all can on both sides. Tap the screen. Tell us what's next for you. Tell us what's up. What's next for Nas?
Okay, so what's next for me, you guys? I do King of the Hill with a twist, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I am looking for two fill-ins right now for Monday. I had two people to drop out, so if you are an amazing creator or you know an amazing creator, please send them to my DMs. Please, please, please. I appreciate everybody. Shout out to Nas Navy. Shout out to Jron for making something great. I don't think I've seen nobody really do this for real, for real. So I appreciate you for opening up your platform, and just giving us a chance to like get to know us, like behind all the social media stuff.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank everybody for joining. Thank everybody for making this a safe place. If this interview will probably be posted tomorrow on YouTube, you could go subscribe to the YouTube channel in my bio. Nas, again, we thank you so much for coming over. I pray that favor follows you and that
Yes.
God do his big one in your life. Thank you so much. Thank everybody for coming on, and make sure y'all follow both people. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a
All
good
right,
day
y'all.
today.
All right, you too. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
J. Ryan.
Bye. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming in. Y'all have a great day. Thank y'all. I enjoyed your comments. Thank everybody for making this a safe space. Our next person we will do is Grip Baby. Grip Baby will be Monday. Hopefully. Grip Baby be on and off. It'd be a lot going back and forth. But so we will do Grip Baby on Monday. And then the next one, I'll tell y'all who the next guest after that. I try to do 2 interviews a week or one. Um, and thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Come back on later. And make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel in my bio. I will post this interview tomorrow. I saw some of y'all saying a Dukiana. I already interviewed Dukiana. I interviewed Dukiana, Rick Rosa, Ty Bailey, Dre Baby. It's a lot of people I already did. I know some of you guys are new to this podcast. But if y'all go on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see those interviews. They are next, okay? Make sure y'all subscribe. Thank y'all so much. I love you. May God follow you.